Hello, and my name is David Gaffney from Photo Focus, and today we're here to talk about the Mamiya RZ67 Mark I. This powerhouse of a camera was built for studio photography and was a beast of a camera. So my question is this camera still relevant in 2026? Let's check it out. So here it is in the flesh, the Mamiya RZ67. Let me take off this back off it real quick. So one of the cool things about this, we have our waist level viewfinder on it, which is really cool. We got our shutter speed dial on the side here. We have our bellows focusing system, which allows us to get close to our subjects. We have our aperture ring. We have our rotating back here, which, you go and you flip it towards the R there. You can flip it from landscape to portrait and etc. You also have this M here for multiple exposure mode. You have the lever here, and then you can hear it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, let's. You can hear fire. There we go. That wonderful fire in here. On the side here, we have our focus lock. Here's our hot shoe. And then on the other side here, we have our exposure chart for the bellows focusing system here. Really, really beautiful camera. The one thing I do like about this camera is that it is a modular camera. So we can essentially just take this thing apart. So if I want a different viewfinder, I can just put on a different viewfinder. And there you go. So now we have a prism finder on it, which also has the the focus speeds, exposure. You can turn on and off your eyepiece. On the side here, you can have your auto exposures for spot metering or automatic or average metering, which is very, very nice. Especially if you're looking to take portraits. You're not hunched over your camera or having to go up a step ladder to take a picture. Do know that if you do get something like this, number one, they're very expensive to acquire. Very expensive. I've had to sell gear to buy this eyepiece. But also, number two, it adds significant weight to the camera. So just be aware of that. Also, with it being a rotating back, you can have things like something like this. This is the Nons instant film back. So all you have to do, because it's modular, is you take it. Remember, you have to reinsert your light, but just take this off. always have a slight slight trouble with getting these back on. I'm not quite proficient in it yet. There we go. And ta-da, it's on. Turn it on. And I like the digital gauge on it. It shows you how many frames you have left and the battery level. I've shot a couple of packs to this yet, charged out of the package, and it's still fully charged. And so it's really, really cool. And you have, you know, photos like awesome. Really good. Really good photographs. Some great photographs from it. And that's from, you know, it's instant square film, you know, so I'm able to shoot all these with it. So I'm hoping to get out in the field and experience to do some street photography with it. Now, this non-sensitive back shoots at 800 ISO. What's also really cool about this non-sensitive back is it's got these electronic contacts, which brings the ISO information to this prism finder. So that's a really cool thing that they thought about with that. And you can't eject the film from it. Well, this is on with the prism finder. So they also made this back so that it rotates, which I didn't even know about until someone on a Mamiya RZ forum on Facebook, you know, told everybody that you can rotate this back. So you can also rotate this back. How neat is that? That's to me, that's awesome. It's just so versatile to be able to use that. Also, with these cameras and shallow depth of field and all that, inside photography is sometimes can be a challenge. It helps with that 800 speed. But this is, you know, when it comes to low light, this is a tripod camera, you know. So you set it in a tripod, you get a cord like this. It's a sync cord. You know, and so you can place this on here. You can plug this into the PC or the X spot there. And then you can get a small flash like this. And you slide it in. Then you can wind it up, turn it on, and it fires. And so that just allows you to be able to get some things done in low light with this camera. The 2.8 does a pretty good job, but you know, you need some flash sometimes. So that's a really good way to have a small, and this thing packs quite the punch too. So don't let the size fool you. You know, you don't need those big flashes. You know, I do have big studio flashes, but you don't need that. You can go out with that little tiny flash and get the job done real easy. So there was that. Yeah, so the Mamiya RZ67, great. Some fun facts, you know, this was introduced in 1982. Shoots 120 and 220 film. And of course, like I said before, it's like you're seeing now, it's fully modular. You can build this. You can build this camera to what you need it to do. I think that's one of the things I love about it, is that it's so customizable to what you need it to do. And so you can build it accordingly. You know, I have yet to put a thing of film through it, but it shoots 6x7 negatives, incredible high quality, and it's got its famous Mamiya sector lenses. I have the 110 2.8 lens on it. Of course, like I said, it's you can, with the modular back, you can shoot it between landscape or portrait, so it just makes it ideal for what you need it to do. Of course, the bellows focusing system makes it really good for up close and personal photography. You know, some people equate it to a macro lens, but it's not quite macro. I wouldn't call it macro, but you can get up and get close to your subject and get in focus quite well. It's big and heavy. This is not a light camera, and that's what I kind of like about it. It's big, so it allows me to slow down my shooting, to think about it, to be deliberate about my shooting. Waist level compositions can be backwards without the prism, so just be aware of that. It's a little awkward at first, but once you get used to it, it just becomes second nature. And then you can't get past the sound of this shutter. I mean, I don't think there's any better sound than that. This is not a fast camera, but I feel that every shot's intentional. You slow down, you focus carefully. You really think about your compositions when you are looking through the viewfinder of this camera. Something to note, someone that's coming from 35mm photography, which is quite easy to get things into focus and get things that you want done. This has really shallow depth of field, so just be aware of that. I believe it has really good portrait quality. I have yet to test that though, but from my Polaroids or from my Instax film that I shot, I can verify even on my Instax film it's pretty high quality. I think that this RZ67 is incredible, but it's not for everyone. It's heavy, it's slow, and it's pretty expensive to shoot, so just be aware of that. So of course this is for like your studio portraits, your of course film studio enthusiasts, landscape work, fine art photographers. Me personally, I'm a street photographer, so I'm going to take this sucker way out of its element. And so when I do that, you guys will be the first to know. The Mamiya RZ67 may be huge and slow, but it produces some of the most beautiful negatives from this film, from what I've seen from people online. Let me know, would you shoot with something this big, or would you be interested in medium format photography? Let me know in the comments. And with that, I think that we'll call that a wraps for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to David Andrew Photo, or Photo Focus. Thank you for tuning in to Photo Focus. I really enjoy film photography, and I've kind of made the switch to film probably about 6-7 months ago, and have really enjoyed that. And so I'm going to take you along with some of the journeys. There's some film or some videos that I have coming up here soon, hopefully, God willing. I'm going to be able to show you some of the things I did in New York, and I have a Nikon SP and an Olympus OM1 that I would like to show off a little bit here, but hopefully I'm able to get you guys out in the field with me to take you behind the scenes of what I'm thinking and what I'm looking for when I'm going out and doing street photography. So if you like what you see here, it's kind of one of my first videos, but give me a like, give me a subscribe, please, and if you're on Substack, give me a follow or a subscribe. That would be much appreciated, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.